And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Burdon.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use trying, no, no, no.
Growing up in Newcastle, in England, the northeast, on the Scottish border, it was very much like a Charles Dickens novel that I'd read and lived through. It was, it hadn't recovered from being a Victorian entity with belief in God, king, and country. And what did they do? They sent us off to Germany to die by the thousand. They killed off a whole generation of young men. So there's a lot to answer for. More than support Newcastle United, I was a part of Newcastle United because they made me, I became the ball boy. I put the ball on the field in front of, 30,000 people when I was 6 years of age. And my grandfather was the groundsman. He looked after the field. So I got to hang out backstage with the players. And plus, when they won the English League Cup 6 times, they gave the cup to my father to keep in our house because they thought that was security. And the school kids would come home and they'd look at the cup and worship at the cup and on our mantelpiece above the fire. And then my father would bring it down, and obviously the first thing kids would do would lift the lid off and look inside, and they'd go, "Wow, what's that smell?" And my father would say, "That's the smell of success." Because they never washed it out, they never cleaned it out. So it smelled of years of champagne, cheap champagne, We did lots of shows in England, touring in a little bus with all the equipment and everything on the bus. And then we came to a show I can't even remember where it was, but we were playing in the north of England somewhere. And it was just another show. And then I walked on stage and I looked out at the audience, and all of the kids were like wide-eyed, and they were like, and I was like, what's happening here? No idea what's going on. Then I found that the House of the Rising Sun was #1, and also that we knocked the Beatles off the top of the charts. So that was the way I discovered there was something different going on. Yeah, well, the story of House of the Rising Sun is not about a place, a house. It's about a person who goes to that house. And the original song is about a girl who works in a profit, a whole house. Yeah, and so the song is really powerful because it's about sin, it's about religion, it's about redemption. It's a redemption song, and I think that's why everybody can identify with it. But when I ended up on tour and I ended up in New Orleans, I realized that first of all, in the early days, the people of New Orleans were just trying to forget. They were trying to forget that their city was ever connected to prostitution or, you know, gambling and all of that. So they didn't like us at all. But then I went back, not with the band, I went back as an individual, and I made lots of friends there. And eventually, over the years, the people in the city, they began to like the song.
I'm talking to you, yes I am, yes I am. Yes, I'm talking to you, you better listen to me, baby, now. I see no red doors, but I want to paint them black.
Because we didn't have any management. We didn't have Brian Epstein behind us. Yeah, we didn't have management that cared for us, and we didn't have the agency that worked for us, you know. So we were kind of an afterthought. It was the Beatles and the Stones and the Animals. Yeah, okay, yeah, we can use them. Yeah, send them to Poland again. No, they've already been there, you know. We'll send them to Germany. You know, and we worked all over the U.S. non-stop. I mean, we worked all the time, non-stop, to the point where you were totally dizzy. Like, where am I? What country is this? What city is this? You know, it was a nightmare. It became a really, really bad, ugly time for me. He came to London like everybody else by plane, and he didn't have his guitar with him, because if he'd have brought his guitar with him, the immigration would have said, you don't have a work permit, get out, you know. So he went there. He came to London as a tourist without any baggage, anything. He just was by himself. And I think that I was the first person that he met in England. And we spent a lot of time talking about these, yeah. And so, I saw a lot of Jimmy over the years, yeah. And I kind of predicted what would happen to him.
It's a hard world to get a break in. All the good things long gone been taken.
Was at the invitation of the Minister of Culture, who was a great movie star. Yes, I do, but I haven't woken up yet. Melina Mercury, yeah. And when I was on stage, she was like 3 seats away from me, and I said, "Wow, this is amazing to have a beautiful woman like this take interest in me." So it was an ego trip as well as anything else. It was like, wow, yeah, there is real people in this world, and it was an indication for me as to how the Greek people were. You know, it's like that they really they took their history and they took their music and their culture seriously. I didn't choose it, it chose me. One of the reasons that I've resisted playing at this venue, and I still feel, is it going to be all right, is electronic instruments really don't suit the stone and the hard acoustic. I'm a bit worried about the volume that we play at is going to disturb people's ears, disturb my ears, that's for sure. So, but I have engineers who worked this place before, and they said it's going to be all right. So, and I trust their judgments. It's a cultural pinnacle, you know, and it has to be done. I am that soldier who volunteered.